today I want to talk about something that we've been using with our patients for about 13 years. And I keep talking about this because it's very powerful. And sometimes we forget to use these little things because our minds are constantly searching for complication. I'm talking about licorice. Licorice, which is spelled as Licorrice, and in India, it's also known as Mulethi. Now, a lot of people cannot use this. If you're a high blood pressure patient, out of control, high blood pressure out of control. If you're on your meds and your high blood pressure is within your control, you can use licorice, but make sure it doesn't increase your high blood pressure. Then if you have fluid retention in your lungs, if you have water accumulation in your lungs, or you're on heavy diuretics by your doctor for kidney problems or water retention in your body, then you shouldn't be having licorice. It could be dangerous for you. And then, of course, if you're a severe heart patient, you have very, very low heart function, or you're moving closely into heart failure, you want to be careful of licorice. For everyone else, if it suits you, do it. If it doesn't suit you, just don't do it. The reason I keep talking about this is because it is excellent for many, many reasons. Number one, let's start with the lungs. If you have a lot of phlegm, if you have a lot of mucus buildup in your lungs, licorice can act as a great, great way of loosening up the mucus so that you can actually cough it out. Even if you have a cough, a persistent cough, you have bronchitis, you have pneumonia, you have asthma, you have lungs that constantly struggle to push out phlegm, you can use licorice. Licorice tea, licorice root. Usually you can buy licorice in the form of its root, it's sliced or it's powder, and you can make it into a tea. The dosage could be anywhere between 1/4 of a teaspoon to 1/2 a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, depending on how it suits you and on based on what your professionals tell you to do. So you can get ready licorice tea and you can have that. Now you also get the powder, and you can start off with, like I said, 1/4 of a teaspoon and eventually work yourself up to 1/2 a teaspoon. You mix it with water and you boil it. Now I would add ginger to it. You can just do plain licorice, but I would add a little bit of ginger and a dash of Sri Lankan rolled or cilantro and cinnamon. I would boil it, reduce it to 1/2, and maybe have 1 cup in the morning on an empty stomach, and you can do 1 more cup in the evening. You don't want to add milk to this. So it's great for your lungs. If you have that consistent cough, wet or dry, you can try to do this. You can try licorice tea, it's really powerful. Now coming down to acid reflux and acidity. If you suffer from a lot of acidity and acid reflux, especially you wake up in the morning with a lot of acid reflux, you can do the same thing. On an empty stomach, you will consume licorice tea. Okay, like I said, if it suits you, it suits you. If it doesn't suit you, it doesn't suit you. It's also great for the skin. It's great for allergic rhinitis. If you have allergic rhinitis, it's great for skin which is losing its glow, dull skin, pigmentation on the skin. Again, you have it in the form of a tea. You boil it and you have it in the form of a tea. You get a lot of licorice in the form of candy, which is also filled with a lot of chemicals and colors and sugar. Obviously, we're not talking about that. Now, the third thing that you can use it, if you have digestive issues, for example, peptic ulcers, stomach ulcers, or sometimes people, they were used to eating certain foods and now all of a sudden their diet is reducing and reducing. The foods that they could eat, they can no longer eat. A lot of this happens, 2 reasons. One is we've lost the integrity of the gut microbiome. We don't have the right microbes to break down the food that we could once eat. And 2, our mucosal lining in the gut has gotten too weak, either because we're generating too much of stomach acid, and that acid eats away at your mucosal linings, and that's why you get ulcers. But it is a bigger problem. Now, because your mucosal lining is thinner, you start getting sensitive and intolerant to foods that you could once eat. And licorice can help you build the integrity of your mucosal linings. It can thicken the mucosal linings, thus strengthening your gut. And over time, you'll be able to introduce more and more foods back into your diet. It's also great for the peptic ulcer or the stomach ulcer that you have. So it's great for acidity, it's great for your digestive system, it's great for your gut, it's great for your skin, it's great for your lungs. Okay, I also want to talk about licorice tea and its use when it comes to even just energy. It's great for energy. Try this in the morning tomorrow. Wake up and have a cup of licorice tea. Don't have your tea, don't have your coffee, no caffeine, and just see how long you can function on great cellular energy with licorice tea. So see, these are some of the ways that you can use licorice. It's fantastic, it's versatile. It's been used across civilizations for decades and decades, but just be careful. Don't overdo it. Just because it's great for acidity doesn't mean you have 2 to 3 cups. And like I said, you're a high blood pressure patient out of control, you can't have it. you're on diuretics, you can't have it. You're on heavy heart medication, near heart failure, you cannot have it. And if you have a fluid buildup in your lungs, or if you have heavy water retention in your body, it's best that you don't have this. And now licorice or Mulethi is available everywhere. It's easily available in Amazon in our country. Out of our country, you want to get a good brand, something that's organic, and then you want to experiment making your little tea. Like I said, you can add ginger. Some days I add cinnamon. I love adding fennel to it because fennel gives it even a sweeter taste. And it's just such a satisfying drink. You can add green tea leaves. You can add black tea leaves to it. It's really up to you. But first, start with plain licorice and see if it suits you. Have a great evening, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.